741 steps. It wouldn't be an hour-long tour.
That's for sure.
It might be a 2 or 3 hour-long tour.
I love to watch the movie just to hear him say kaput, kaput, kaput.
I know. That's the best part of the whole movie.
All right. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
I can even hear myself. Have you been to Mount Rushmore?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Some comparisons with the carving of Crazy Horse and Mount Rushmore. All of Mount Rushmore will fit behind his face. All 4 presidents. George Washington, and the average height of each of the presidents is 60 feet tall. Crazy Horse's face is 87.5 feet tall from his chin to the top of his forehead. That tunnel was cut in 1972 is when it was finished. And according to John, one of the 10 children, he was the first one to see daylight through it. That tunnel was 166 feet long, plus a few inches, he says. Okay, it's 4 stories tall. You can put 2 D6 Caterpillars side by side in it. And that tunnel in length now is only 30 feet long, just to let you know that. It shows you how much rock they've removed off the sides of the carving. It's hard to see it, but the sun's hitting just right. You can see a little bit of the horse's ear painted in white, and it comes around his forehead, and the horse's forehead and his eye. Korchak painted one of those on the mountain back in 1951. And the way he did it is he hung suspended over the side of the mountain on a 1-inch rope. His wife Ruth was in the valley down in the parking lot down below, giving him directions from the 134 scale model. He painted a 4-foot wide line all the way around to outline the horse's head and that. And it took 174 gallons of paint. When he got done, he was both glad and sad. He was sad because all the people in town and in the area thought all he was going to do was paint it. He was glad because Ruth didn't make him put a second coat of paint on it. All the rock you see there comes down off the mountain eventually. And what we do get down right now, Mark, I don't know where he falls in the line of the 10 children. I get them all mixed up. He's one of the 10 children. He owns and operates the rock crusher. It's his. He contracts out to Crazy Horse Memorial Foundation and crushes all the rock as it comes off the mountain. He's got a lot of crushing to do, doesn't he? And they use it for the road base throughout the property. There, the muck piles on the left here. That's where he works and runs the crusher. Now they own about 1,000 acres here. Some of the first property they bought is here on the left. You'll see there's some old cabins on it. Those were owned by a gold miner. Gold miner found out what he was going to do and came in and staked a gold mining claim on the property while Korchak was back east collecting the rest of his belongings. When Korchak came back, he found out what the miner had done and also found out that he had to have a mining claim also. He was able to dicker with the gold miner and purchased his claim from him. They actually became very good friends, and the miner and his son actually drilled several water wells throughout the property. The bulldozer on the right is the one Casimir rolled off the mountain. I was told that bulldozer had been used up until about 5 or 6 years ago. Now I mentioned that the property, they got 1,000 acres here. The way they acquired it is they just started purchasing small tracts of land around the area. And they were able to do some land swaps with the United States government. That's the only affiliation they've had with the government. And they also swapped with a couple landowners to acquire the 1,000 acres all in one large tract of land. So it's all together. Some of the wildlife we get to see is white-tailed deer, wild turkeys, and occasionally we get to see the mountain goats. We get visited by some mountain goats once in a while, and either early in the morning or late in the evening like this is when we really get to see them, is the most chance we get to see them. So we might actually see them this evening, I don't know. We never know where they're at. They don't get paid. They come and go as they please. They're volunteers. The only thing they might get is maybe some cookies or something from the mountain crew. straight ahead, it's going to come up on the left as we make the turn. That is an old bunker. They used to store explosives in there. The Bureau of Alcohol and Tobacco and Firearms says you can't put it in there anymore. So they store any explosives in a location off the premises, off the property, and that location is undisclosed to anybody. So we don't know where that's at. This gives you a little bit different view of the mountain. Man, I got a dirty windshield.
That's what I was
Good grief. Anyway, there's the tunnel that goes through, and there's a side view of his face on this side. I had somebody come into Welcome Center one day, this gentleman, and he looks at the photograph that we have on it with all the measurements. And he points to the head and he says, "What does the other side look like?" And I looked at him and I go, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah." And he points at the face. I says, "Like that?" He laughed. It was kind of fun. We always have fun in the Welcome Center.
Is it open in the winter?
It is. We are open year-round, and unlike, if you Google it, unlike the Google's deal of Crazy Horse, we are not open on 24 hours on Sundays. Trust me, it says that. It used to. Yeah, I had a lady show it to me. I says, "That's the Google website. Go to crazyhorse.org. That says something different." I'm going to show you real quick from here while Cheryl's getting her crew out. If you look to the right, see those two orange things there standing up?
Mm-hmm.
Those are some of the new saws. They're fairly new. I mean, they've had them for about probably 6 years, I guess. Now, I'm thinking. And those saws use a cable, and I'll show you how they cut. Explain that to you when we get out here. But they've got some other new saws that they're using. We'll get a really close-up look at them, and I'll tell you what they do and what that has done as far as activity on the mountain carving. Let me get my head piece on here. Stop blowing. Beautiful evening.